Hey guys, good morning. So I want to talk to you about something. The other day when I was having surgery and going under anesthesia brought up a lot of things for me. Now, a lot of you don't know this, but I have woken up from surgery. That means I was under anesthesia and I've woken up 7 different times. Now, 6 of those 7 times I was fully awake and able to verbally say, I'm awake, stop. But there was one time where I experienced anesthesia awareness, which is a psychiatric emergency actually. It's when your body is paralyzed because they do give you paralytic medication because they don't want you moving during surgery. And your brain is completely awake. So I was lying on the table being cut open and I was wide awake in my head, but completely paralyzed everywhere else and could not convey to anybody that I was awake. So the people at USC were very kind to me and took that into consideration and made sure that wouldn't happen. Because I'm telling you right now, you guys, it was terrifying. I panicked. I did not know what to do. I heard every conversation that was going on in the OR when I woke up with the anesthesia awareness. I heard every music that was playing. I heard everything. I even knew that the anesthesiologist's wife was going into labor and they were trying to find another anesthesiologist to take over for him. And they brought in a CRNA, which is a certified registered nurse anesthetist. They are allowed to give anesthesia and push it, while regular RNs are not. So I'm clarifying that to let you know that there are politics within the medical system as well. And not everyone can push medications, for instance, with cancer. Not every registered nurse can hang chemo. They can't. You have to be a certain type of RN to hang chemotherapy. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's a long story. I'm talking about the anesthesia. So basically, I told them that I would not be going under unless they put an EEG or something on my head to make sure that my brain waves were completely gone. Because when you're under anesthesia, you're not sleeping. You're in a medically induced coma. That's what it is. You're not sleeping. Now, when this happened to me in LA at a very big, well-known hospital. And unfortunately, the pain doctor that I was seeing at the hospital gaslit me and told me that I was dreaming. I told him verbatim what I heard and what was being said and what was going on. He turned pale white, ran to get my file, read it, and he said that I was right, that in fact happened. Because I mentioned to him, in addition to the anesthesiologist thing, that the doctors, when they cut me open, found a cyst on my right ovary, and they weren't sure whether or not to take it out. So they were waiting for a doctor to come and consult with them to give the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And I remembered that, so I told him that. And he got freaked out and said that, yes, you did experience anesthesia awareness. But here's the kicker, okay? After this happens, it causes severe medical trauma and medical PTSD. Okay, I have severe medical trauma and severe PTSD, not just from waking up from anesthesia, but from not being believed by doctors for so many years because I went undiagnosed. And I was hospitalized many times, And I was told it was in my head, that it was psychosomatic. They called me Dr. Google and told me that I was drug seeking. That's crazy. Just because I don't look sick does not mean I'm not. One doctor even told me that I was not sick because I was too pretty to be sick. So pretty people don't get sick, right? No, that's ridiculous. I have dealt with some really, really shitty doctors who have been rude and plain mean to me because they're judging and they're harsh and they were not understanding. So going into surgery, I was terrified, but I was reassured that I would not be judged. They know my entire situation, and I'm a huge advocate for myself. You guys, if you're ever in the hospital or ever in a doctor's office and somebody's not believing you, either walk away and find somebody new, because I don't recommend that you go see a doctor that does not believe you. But you must be your own advocate. You have only yourself, really. The nurses are supposed to advocate for you, but a lot of times they don't. So you've got to be on top of things. So please remember that. Advocate for yourself. Let people know what you've experienced and make sure they listen to you and pay attention to you. So, I did not experience anesthesia awareness. I did not wake up during surgery. Things went well. I actually have a funny story about what happened when I woke up. Now, because I have a condition called Ehlers Danlos Syndrome, I metabolize IV medication at rapid speeds. So my body is trying to constantly keep up with the medication. That's probably why I've woken up so many times. And that's probably why I don't get sufficient relief from pain meds or nausea meds given through IV, because my connective tissue is faulty. Ehlers Danlos Syndrome is a connective tissue disorder that affects the collagen in the body and also affects the organs in different ways. That's a long story as well. One day I will explain to you everything, but reiterating the fact that I'm not a doctor and I cannot diagnose anybody. So basically, I metabolized medication too quickly. I woke up completely aware, exactly as I am right now. Boom, Energizer Bunny, talking fast, thinking fast. The nurses thought I was insane, like seriously insane. They're like, we've never seen anybody wake up this alert in our entire careers. And I told them that that's actually very normal for me. So I did wake up and I put my hands up in the air and I start texting. And the nurse asks me, what are you doing? And I said, I'm texting my dad. She said, with what? And I said, what do you mean with what? With the phone. And then I looked up and I noticed there was no phone in my hand. I was texting the air. So obviously the anesthesia was still in my system, even though I was wide awake. And I was texting the air to let my dad know that I was out of surgery. The nurse found that to be hysterical, and so did I. I'm self-deprecating all the time. I make fun of myself. I'm hysterical. I do stupid shit all the time. So that was just one thing I did that was ridiculous. So anyway, thank you again for your prayers. Thank God I didn't wake up. Thank God I got through it and got to get home earlier than anticipated. I'm going to go now and have my second cup of coffee. Yes, I do enjoy coffee. And I hope to chat with you guys very soon. Have a great day and adios. Bye-bye.